Hello and welcome to the Lalami Book Club. Today I want to talk about my most anticipated releases for the month of March. As usual, we have a bit of a mix. There are some different kinds of thrillers. There's a bit of dystopia and some horror. We have a memoir and a cozy space mystery. And of course, we also have a bit of myth retellings. I have 9 books that I want to talk about and then some honorable mentions at the end. So let's get into the first one. So first up, we have a mystery thriller that I'm really excited about. And this is Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. Or Stava. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I tried to look it up, but I can't find it anywhere. This is about Sloane Carraway, who is a liar. She mostly tells harmless lies to make her sad life a little bit more interesting. And then one day she's at a park and there's a little girl who starts crying, and so she rushes over to help pull out a bee stinger, and she tells the dad, who happens to be very attractive, that she's a nurse. And this lands her a job as a nanny for this wealthy couple in New York and their daughter. Sloane is a liar, but maybe she isn't the only one lying, and maybe this picture-perfect couple harbors a much more dangerous truth. And then it says in the description, to say anything more is to spoil the most exciting, twisty, and bitingly smart suspense novel to come out in years. So I like that they don't say too much in the description or like in the premise. I'm just curious to see where this is going, and I hope it's suspenseful. I'm looking for a good thriller that is just the right amount of thrilling, and yeah, I think this might be it. At least I hope so. Next up, we have a bit of a different vibe. This is Saving 5, a memoir of hope by Nguyen. And this is a revelatory and powerful memoir by the Nobel Peace Prize nominee, activist, and astronaut Nguyen, detailing her tumultuous childhood and groundbreaking activism in the aftermath of her rape at Harvard University. So Amanda is the child of Vietnamese refugees, and she had been working for years toward her dream of becoming an astronaut and working for NASA. And then during her time at university, she was raped at a fraternity party. And she decided to file her rape kit under Jane Doe because she didn't want this court case to derail her dreams of working for NASA. But then she found out that she would only have 6 months before the state would destroy the evidence from this rape, and that she wouldn't be able to take action later on if she didn't do it right away. So she decided to fight and take action, which ultimately led to the creation of the Sexual Assault Survivors Bill of Rights in the United States. And yeah, this is her memoir and her story. She is now also an astronaut, and I think this memoir could be very powerful and hopeful and empowering. Next up, we have a speculative dystopian thriller, and this is The Dream Hotel by Laila Lalami, an eerie novel about one woman's fight for freedom, set in a near future where even dreams are under surveillance. So we follow Sarah, who lands at LAX and is pulled aside by agents who say that she is about to commit a crime and harm her husband. And this is based on the data that they have from her dreams. Sarah is brought to a detention center where other dreamer women are held, trying to prove their innocence. They have very strict rules at this detention center, which I guess is the Dream Hotel, and any sort of deviation from those rules will give you extra time. So Sarah's time at this detention center just keeps getting longer and longer until one day a new resident arrives, disrupting the order, and Sarah finds herself on a collision course with the companies who are holding them captive. I think this sounds fascinating. It sounds like a feminist take on technology and privacy, a very eerie situation where dreams are surveilled. That doesn't sound fun at all. And the idea that you could be arrested for having had a dream, like you're about to commit a crime, so therefore we put you in this detention center. Very scary and creepy, and yeah, I look forward to reading this one. And then I have another book that I am finding a bit difficult to get a grasp of, and it's a mystery thriller, but also historical fiction and romance. This is Broken Country by Clare Leslie Hall. So it's set in England, and I think the main character is Beth. And when her brother-in-law shoots a dog going after their sheep, Beth doesn't realize that the gunshot will alter the course of their lives. The dog belonged to Gabriel, the man Beth loved as a teenager, and his son Leo reminds her of her son Bobby, who died. So this seems to have some dilemma about, Gabriel being her first love and him coming back into her life, and then she has a current husband who she is happily married with. But there's also secrets and jealousy, and it says that it has the pace of a thriller, and so there seems to be like stuff going on here. Right now it has 743 ratings on Goodreads and an average of 4.5, and the reviews sound really good as well. So yeah, I'm very intrigued by this one. I'm not sure it's a book that I would pick up just based on the premise, but the fact that so many people have said that it's fantastic makes me want to read it, and so yeah, I'm curious about this one. The next book I'm not sure I'm going to be reading because it is a dystopian horror novel, which is not typically my genre, and I don't want to be too scared. But I think that the premise sounds really intriguing, so we'll see. Maybe I'll wait to see if it's scary or if I can handle it. That is The Unworthy by Agustina Bazterrica. And this was originally published in Spanish in 2023 and has now been translated into English by Sarah Moses. A searing tale about climate crisis, ideological extremism, and the tidal pull of our most violent exploitative instincts. So this is about a woman who I think is unnamed, but she is confined in a cell at a mysterious convent of a violent and secretive religious order, and she is a lower member of this sacred sisterhood deemed an unworthy, and so she dreams of ascending the ranks. So the world outside is plagued by climate catastrophe. Cities are submerged underwater. There's no electricity or internet or anything like that, and this narrator, main character, is confined to this convent where she is being controlled and punished, but also safe from the outside chaos. And then another woman comes into this convent and starts to stir things up, and our narrator starts to question some things and starts to search her past and sort of wonder what she's doing there and things like that. It sounds a little bit familiar to The Dream Hotel in that sense. But I think this is darker and a bit more violent, and yeah, it's a horror novel, so I'm a bit on the fence, but I'm very intrigued. Next I have another mystery thriller, but this one is a little bit more lighthearted, I guess, or colorful at least, based on the cover. This is You Deserve to Know by Aggie, Blum, Thompson. This follows neighbors Nguyen, Amy, and Lisa, who share playdates and coffee mornings and Friday night dinners, and they also confide their deepest secrets to each other. That is until Gwen's husband is found murdered after one of their weekly Friday night dinners. Their seemingly idyllic world becomes a web of deception, betrayal, and revenge. This doesn't sound very scary. It sounds more intriguing and mysterious, and yeah, deception, betrayal, and revenge among three women who live in the same neighborhood. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Next up, I have a cozy mystery set in space, and this is Murder by Memory by Olivia Waite. So this is set on a luxurious spaceship where there is a library of people's minds, and you can sort of switch bodies. And so our main character, Dorothy, wakes up in a body that isn't hers, just as someone else is found murdered. And as one of the ship's detectives, she usually delights in unraveling the schemes on board, but when she finds out that someone is not only killing bodies, but purposefully deleting minds, she realizes that something sinister is afoot. I think this sounds like a lot of fun. It's a short little novella, and I think it just sounds very wholesome and intriguing, with this like mind library and a murder mystery, and Dorothy sounds like a fun character, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this at some point. And then I have a debut mystery thriller that is said to be a darkly funny thrill ride and an edge of your seat kind of a book, and I would love one of those. This is Killer Potential by Hannah Deitch. So in this story we follow Evie, who was always a straight-A student. She thought she was special and destined to be someone important, and then after graduation she finds herself in a bunch of debt and working as an SAT tutor in Los Angeles for the super rich. One day when she arrives at her client's mansion for the weekly lesson, she finds the remains of the parents strewn across the garden. There's also a woman screaming from a closet, and while Evie tries to free her, the two women are spotted and now they're suspects in this murder case. So they're suddenly at the heart of a manhunt, and she's accompanied by this mysterious woman who refuses to speak, and Evie knows that the only way to clear her name is to find the real killer. I think it sounds like a darkly funny thrill ride, like it says, and yeah, I hope it lives up to that. If so, I am here for the ride. Next up is The Hymn to Dionysus by Natasha Pulley. And it's giving the Song of Achilles vibes to me a little bit. It has some common themes because this is a retelling of Dionysus' story, but we follow a warrior called Phaedros, and he is ordered to abandon a baby boy at a temple and to keep it a secret. And then years later, after some strange encounters that led to the death of his battalion, he trains soldiers but struggles with panic attacks, and his fellow veterans are losing their minds. Phaedros is also entangled with the young crown prince, and now enter Dionysus, the god of ecstasy and madness. I'm finding it a bit difficult to get a grasp of the premise or like the storyline for this, but I'm always interested to read a myth retelling, and this one has a pretty cover and it sounds interesting, the parts that I can understand. There seems to be relationships and the normal, myth chaos with all of the different characters. There's mental health issues going on, and yeah, I just think it sounds interesting, and if it's anything like The Song of Achilles, that would be great. I'm very curious about this one. And then I have some honorable mentions that I'm not sure if I'm going to read for different reasons, but they all sound really good, and so I just wanted to mention them. The first one is When the Bones Sing by Jenny Myers Sain. This is young adult paranormal horror fantasy mystery thriller. There are people going missing along a local hiking trail, and we follow a 17-year-old called Dovey who doesn't believe in magic but comes from a long line of women who can hear the bones of the dead sing. Dream Count by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is contemporary and historical fiction. We follow a Nigerian travel writer who is living in America, and in the midst of the pandemic, she recalls past lovers, choices, and regrets. And then we also follow her best friend, her cousin, and her housekeeper. The Winter Goddess by Megan Barnard is a fantasy novel based on Gaelic mythology. This follows Cailleach, the winter goddess, who does not think very highly of humans, and then one winter she goes too far and thousands die, and in punishment she is cursed to endlessly live and die as a mortal until she understands the value of human life. Sister Sinner by Clare Hoffman is about the miraculous life and mysterious disappearance of Amy Semple McPherson. On a spring day in 1926, Amy Semple McPherson, America's most famous woman evangelist, wandered into the Pacific Ocean and vanished. Weeks later, she reappeared in the desert, claiming to have been kidnapped. Saintly Sister or Con Artist Sinner. Tilt by Emma Paddy is a contemporary survival suspense novel set in Portland, Oregon. We follow Annie, who is 9 months pregnant and shopping for a crib at IKEA when a massive earthquake hits. With no phone or money and a city left in chaos, there's nothing left to do but walk. The Ideological Brain, The Radical Science of Flexible Thinking by Lior Smigrod. This book asks why some people become radicalized, how ideologies shape the human brain, and how we can unchain our minds from toxic dogmas. This is said to be an authoritative, accessible, and playful blend of psychology, politics, and philosophy, exploring the cutting edge of the emerging field of political neuroscience. Let me know in the comments if any of these sound interesting to you as well, and if there were any that you hadn't heard of that you are now adding to your list. I would love to know. And if you want more recommendations, I did similar videos for January and March, and there will be more coming for the coming months, so look out for that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Today I want to talk about today in this video. Hello and welcome to okay, I'm so hungry. Okay,